Everybody, welcome to the organizational meeting of the Granville Exempted Village School District Board of Education, January 12th, 6:30 in the board office. As the most recently elected board president, I will preside as president pro tem of the organizational meeting until the election of the president for 2015. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Take the roll, please.
Dr. Corman?
Here.
Ms. Deeds?
Here.
Mr. Janice?
Here.
Mr. Miller?
Here.
Dr. Rentel?
Here. This time I'll take nominations for board president for 2015.
It would be my pleasure to nominate Dr. Kornman as president. I didn't tell you what I was nominating.
Thank you. Any other nominations? Seeing there as none, we'll take a vote to close nominations. Motion to close nominations. So moved.
Second.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Dr. Rentel?
Oh, sure. Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye.
And Dr. Corman?
Aye.
Good thing you didn't vote no.
But now do we vote on?
Yeah, now we vote on the
Election.
My election, yes. Vote for me.
Give a speech?
No.
That's why we're voting for
That's
it.
where it is. I think you just did a vote.
No, we needed
A
one.
motion?
No move.
No, Russ.
Second. Yeah.
You nominate.
You nominated.
Yeah.
We only do this
Two.
once a year.
Good,
so-
Yeah.
and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a motion from, I'll second the motion.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
motion.
I motion.
And
I
Russ.
move.
Okay, okay, excellent.
Okay, take the roll, please.
Dr. Rentel?
Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye.
Robert's Rules of Order as
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Dr. Corman?
Aye. Now we will entertain nominations for the role of vice president. for
Well,
20
first of all, I'd like to say congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, I know, you're moving. That's good, that's good.
Okay, now nominations for vice president, please.
I would like to nominate Russ Janice, if he's so willing to continue in his role as vice president. He's done so well.
Thank you.
Second.
Discussion? Oh, no, sorry.
Oh, I thought that was disagreement. No, sorry.
Take the roll,
Here's some of
please.
that.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Dr. Rentel?
Aye.
This is rare
Janice?
form. Aye.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Dr. Corman?
Aye. Nominations are closed. Now I motion to approve Mr. Janice as vice president for 2015.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Oh, take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Dr. Rentel?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Janice? Dr. Corman?
Aye.
You people are going to start to think that we have this much fun on a regular basis. Yes. Congratulations, Russ and Jen. You have done a great job for 2014, and we're looking forward to great things in 2015. So thank you. So moving along with the agenda for the organizational meeting, item 6 is the approval of board policies and regulations currently in effect.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion?
Should we review all of them?
Right now?
No discussion.
I'm a little fuzzy on that.
Yeah, Jeff, could you go over this again?
Sure.
All of them.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're online.
Yes.
Take the roll, please.
Mr. Janice?
Aye.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Dr. Rentel?
Aye.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Dr. Corman?
Aye.
Next item is the adoption of the agenda and meeting notification procedures, which outlines how we notify the public of our board meetings.
So moved.
Second.
Take the roll, please.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye.
Ms. Deeds?
Aye.
Dr. Rentel?
Aye.
Dr. Corman?
Aye.
8 and 9 we're going to do in one vote. It is our opportunity to elect different board members to different committees or add a designee to those committees, including the Granville Rec District, CTEC, Granville Education Foundation, Granville Foundation, Licking County Tax Review Committee, Newark Granville Community Authority, Granville Village Planning Commission, the Chamber of Commerce, the Regional Advisory Council, and the Legislative Liaison. So we've assigned several people. Some notable differences from last year: Brian Goss will assume Craig Kester's position that he will vacate on the GRD, and Alan Minton has agreed to move on to the Granville Foundation as Ms. Deeds exits. And thank you very much, Amy, for serving for several years in that role. We also have the Superintendent Committee assignments. Those are my committees that center around the board benchmarks, and we have board representatives on each of those committees. So we have all of those positions filled except for one, which is the Village Planning Commission position, which is an ex officio position. If you are interested out there in fulfilling a role on the Village Planning Commission, I'm speaking to all the people watching on the internet, please contact my office. So
We have a motion to accept board assignments.
Second?
Chris, can I honor roll. Any discussion? No? Take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
next item is board member compensation. This is for all new terms commencing after the date of this resolution. So this does not impact any of your honorarium for a meeting or for meeting attendance. So
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
this is a rate increase from $25 to $50. Honestly, we're trying to, in the future, make sure that we compensate the board for their time in case they need to provide childcare or something at home. And honestly, we were at the floor, and now we're not even close to the ceiling, so it's just a little bit of an increase.
I always hesitate when giving myself a raise like this, right? But I will say that as many board members have done in the past, I fully contribute my salary back to the school in terms of our charitable organizations and things like that. But I'm supportive of this resolution because I think those that do are burdened by the presence here, and it's a lot of time and effort. Hopefully this goes a little bit of a way toward helping them serve on the board in the future.
I just want to say that you're not getting a free thing.
Yeah. Let's
Sorry to
clarify.
say, just to clarify, none of us will be, it's only for the newly elected people who will, and the next election is in November, so only newly elected board members will receive the increase.
Yep.
Any other questions? Take the roll, please.
Mr. Janice. Aye. Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds. Dr. Corman.
Aye.
Number 11 is the resolution to create a service fund. This fund covers the cost of the OSBA conference and several other events that board members attend or trainings. And several years ago it was at $5,000. We reduced it to $3,000 and have kept it at that level for the last couple of years.
Motion to approve the resolution to create the service fund.
So.
Any questions? Take the roll, please.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel. Dr. Corman.
Aye.
The next item is the resolution to establish board meeting dates and times and locations for our regular meetings, including the organizational meeting today. And okay. That's it.
Questions? Take the roll.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds. Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
one of the last items, is the standing authorizations for the calendar year 13A through K.
Second?
Discussion or comments, you want to make it up? Just standard?
These are standard items. It gives me the ability to hire staff in between meetings, accept resignations until you have approved them, some memberships, designates the superintendent as the purchasing agent, and also gives Mike authorities to spend money. Within the budget.
Any other questions? Take roll, please.
Mr. Janice. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rantel. Ms. Deeds. Dr. Corman.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
So moved? Or did you move?
I will move. Second, take a second. Adjourn the organizational meeting.
Ms. Deeds. Dr. Rantel. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Janice. Dr. Corman.
The organizational meeting is complete.
Should we walk out and come back? All right. I would like to bring to order the regular meeting of the Granville Exempted Village School District Board of Education on January 12th in the board meeting at 6:40. I think we can probably vote by, we already did the pledge, so I don't think we need to do it again. So take the roll, please.
Dr. Corman.
Here.
Ms. Deeds. Mr. Janice. Here. Mr. Miller.
Here.
Dr. Rantel.
We really don't have this much fun on a regular basis.
We've done this before.
Okay, so that leads us to our commendations, and we're actually going to start with School Board Recognition Month. It is January, so Ohio School Boards Association recognizes the school boards during this month, and to build awareness and understanding of this vital role that an elected board member in the Board of Education plays in our society. The Granville Board of Education, like other school boards across the state and country, provide critical leadership and governance to our students, staff, and community. Our school board sets the direction for our public schools by envisioning the community's educational future. It sets policies and procedures to govern all aspects of the school district operation. The school board keeps attention focused on progress and towards the school district's goals and maintains two-way communication with all of its stakeholders within the community. On behalf of the students, staff, and Granville Exempted Village Schools, we wish to thank each board member for their service and commitment to our schools. So I bought you a book. Here you go. You can open it right now. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. So since we are a learning organization, the book that I purchased was Mindset by Carol Dweck. Carol has written about the new psychology of success. And what I love about this, Janelle did a great job of wrapping those, by the way.
Too good.
It really talks about how we can learn to fulfill our potential. And I thought this was an excellent connection to really what the board does for the organization and what we're trying to accomplish within the organization. She really talks and centers on two types of mindsets, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And those that have a fixed mindset see the barriers and obstacles that really prevent growth. Those with the growth mindset can see the potential for improvement and usually have a lot of perseverance and grit, as Katie referenced earlier, in achieving those goals. And I thought, as a learning organization and as a Board of Education, you've entertained learning opportunities throughout my tenure here, and I wanted to provide that book to you because as an organization, we center on continuous improvement. And with a continuous improvement mentality, you have to have a growth mindset. So I appreciate each and every one of you for what you bring to this Board of Education. You do a fantastic job. I can tell you I talk to a lot of superintendents around the state of Ohio, and I am very lucky to work for 5 people like you. So thank you very much, and please let's give the Board of Education a round of applause. I won't ask you for a speech because we're moving on. But thank you. All right. Next, we are going to be honoring 2 students within our school district. After the tragic shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in December of 2012, Granville schools joined districts across Ohio to train teachers and staff how to keep students safe during an attack. Granville High School siblings Gracie and Teddy Parsley recognized that the ALICE training, Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate training, was an opportunity to help the district be prepared through Go Buckets, the Go Buckets service project. Gracie and Teddy attended trainings and consulted with an expert on contents of the to-go buckets, or Go Buckets. This summer and fall, the Parsleys gathered donations, supplies for over 200 Go Buckets, assembled them, and distributed one to every teacher, providing instructions at each building staff meeting. Each Granville classroom now has a Go Bucket filled with items that could be needed in the event of a violent intruder. The board commends Gracie and Teddy for their community focus and concern for our staff and student safety. So Grace and Teddy, come on up.
Overall, great. Well done, Mom. There you go.
And you want to hold the Go Bucket as we take a photo?
And it's actually for you guys to be here.
Nice. I was hoping.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm trying to hide. Just gonna swoop.
Okay, great. Can you talk a little bit about what's in the bucket?
Yeah, what have we got in there?
Yep, go right ahead.
Let's see it.
So first of all, everything's in a big garbage bag that in case that everybody's stuck in the classroom for a long period of time, a bucket can actually be used for a restroom. And first thing, if it is used for a restroom, there's a sheet. And with that sheet, there are 2 clothespins that you can hang somewhere in the classroom. And then there are 5 pairs of gloves. Because some people don't like touching blood, and so there are 5 pairs of gloves. There are 2 water bottles, and that means in case there's a diabetic in the classroom that needs some sugar, really just for emergency purposes. And there are maxi pads that can be used to cover wounds on necks and bodies. And then in this bag, there's a pair of scissors, 2 boxes of tampons for bullet wounds, 2 different sizes of bike tires that can be used for tourniquets, and some gauze pads as well. And then there are also 4 sheets of plastic to cover for wounds that you can tape around. And then there's duct tape for also taping, and then an extra bag of garbage bags.
All medical supplies is donated by Lincoln Memorial Hospital, and those donate the buckets, the duct tape, and bike tires are used for tourniquets.
Great.
How many buckets altogether did you do?
Over 200, so around.
Wow. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work.
But I really appreciate your community orientation and, your perseverance. Getting a lot of donations is a tedious job, and you stuck with it, and that's really neat. So thank you. And I hope that they are never used.
Yeah.
So.
Our last and final step is to convince the board to actually get Alice Training to come back and teach the students. Because we went to Watkins Memorial, and I sat and watched them go through the medical process, and I thought it was very valuable, because if there's a substitute in the room and the teacher's the only person that knows how to use all the medical supplies, then it's pointless to have it, and there's no reason to even have the bucket if nobody knows what to do with it. So that was something that I can always come back and talk to you guys about, but that was just something to keep in your mind.
And I have a feeling this board will be very receptive and
Absolutely.
probably give me a directive to make that happen. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Yolande Berger from the Ohio Department of Education that is here to speak to us about the AP Honor Roll.
Well, first of all, I really love coming to school board meetings, especially when they run so quickly like this. But most importantly, to see the young people. Not having, now I'm at the Department of Education for the past 5 years, I don't get to see that all the time. And so this is really heartwarming to see this type of action beyond the scholarly work that is going on. We see education in action, and I commend you, Gracie and Teddy, again, because it is indeed something that I'm going to go back and share with Dr. Ross. If I see him tomorrow, he's always busy, but most definitely want to say congratulations to you. So thank you for allowing me to come this evening. I was supposed to be here in December, but we had a little scheduling snafu. But this is a testament of what you are saying about your community here, that you are committed to excellence and you are devoted to educating our students. And so this evening, I'm pleased to congratulate Granville as one of 547 school districts being honored by the College Board with placement on the 5th annual AP District Honor Roll for increasing access to AP coursework while simultaneously maintaining or increasing the percentage of students earning scores of 3 or higher on AP exams. Do we have any AP teachers here? No? Okay. Please tell them, please share with them our congratulations. So I have a certificate from Dr. Ross and myself. So on behalf of the Ohio Department of Education, we'd like to commend you, officially commend you on your work here. And as I can see, you are continuing that excellence. And I am pleased to be here and to share this certificate with you. Okay, thank you.
We appreciate you making the drive out.
Oh, no
for
problem.
Our event tonight.
And everyone travel safely home. Go Bucks.
That's right. So our last commendation of the evening is really something I think that is also unique about Granville. We are going to be commending our 4 art teachers for their work on the student art show that is related to a grassroots effort to really bring meaning to Dr. King's message on Martin Luther King Day. On Sunday, January 18th, from 3 to 6, our art department and our music department will be working together to host the Inspired by the Dream art show. So we have a lot of talented kids in our school district, and they're talented across a variety of spectrum. You know, you have the academic success, you have the athletic success, music success, and art success. And one of the things that has been, really amazing to view is the students' perspective on life. A concept like, nonviolence is something that Dr. King promoted, and for a kindergartner to try and represent that through a medium that they've created is amazing. So on Sunday afternoon at the high school commons, we will be putting on an art show. There are over 1,000 pieces of artwork that will be on display for parents, community members, anyone in Licking County that wants to come and see what our students put together. Really, the additional theme beyond Inspired by the Dream was find your passion to serve. One of the things that really drove my participation in this event through the community group that is working on this was the notion that it is not a day off, but a day on to serve those in need. And I think the grassroots group that promotes the Feed the Dream initiative and the food drive the next day on Monday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Ross's Market, that was a nice little plug there, is the secondary piece of service. And we have a lot of our students participating in that service to benefit the Licking County Food Pantry. And I think when you live in a community like Granville, you recognize that we have a lot of the amenities and pleasantries of life. And for those who don't have food, I can't imagine what that's like. So not only is the art show a representation of the of Dr. King's message, but also the food drive as well. So I would like to invite our art teachers who have been working diligently to finish all of these projects. There are two representatives from the community group that has been focused on supporting this art show, Jolene Minton and Nikki Brown, who happens to be my wife. Yeah, I think it's really important that, you know, the board understands that this is a community process, a community event. And there was an editorial in the Dispatch, and the last sentence was, Dr. King taught us that social change must begin with the minds and hearts of individuals working together toward constructive and compassionate goals. This is a lesson we cannot afford to forget. And I think that's really critical. So I'd like to commend our art teachers, and then I'm also going to reference during donations the art panels that were donated by the Granville Education Foundation and the PTO through a grant process that all of these ladies took on as their mission to bring art to the forefront of Granville schools. So ladies, please come on up. I want to recognize that all of them are dressed in scarlet and gray, which is very good. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. I was looking at the camera.
There you go.
Wow, very nice. All right, thank you very much. So I referenced the panels. I'm going to talk about them right now because they were purchased at a discounted price of $4,000. All of that money was donated by the Granville Education Foundation and the PTO. And one of the things that we struggled with the first art show was how to display all of the wonderful artwork. And we actually borrowed art panels from Bryn Dew. And we'll probably have to still borrow those panels, but now we have how many? 32? 32 art panels of our own for each of the buildings to display artwork. So we'll collect all of those, bring them to the Commons, and set them up. But these specific panels were selected for their quality, professional gallery appearance, flexible usage, and the ability for compact storage, because we don't have a lot of place to store them. But having display panels housed in each school, the art teachers and the school faculty will have the opportunity to augment their curriculum, present the student artwork and artistic experiences for not only their art program, but additional classrooms and programs. So again, thank you very much for working on those grants and getting that funding for those art panels. And we'll accept the donation during the action portion of the meeting. That concludes commendations. And you will not hurt our feelings. You can run. Honey, put the chili dip in the oven. Okay. forgot my agenda over there.
We're going to put the gold bucket on your hair. How about that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you. That would
You
be
can
great.
put it wherever you want.
Thank you, Tara.
That's a good spot.
Hopefully you'll never need it.
Yes.
right.
Okay, there is also these letters from, or achievement letters from OSBA, but again, sincere appreciation. But anyway, it just strikes me as strange, but thank you.
No, I'm serious, literally, that's. No,
It is.
but if you say it too fast.
Right.
Thank you.
I was confused.
All right, so that takes us to staff reports. A requirement of the legislation recently passed on minimum hours, if there is going to be a change to a calendar, you have to hold a public hearing prior to the approval of that calendar. So, Mr. Bernath, I'd like you to talk about the proposed calendar. After tonight's meeting, and if there's any community feedback, we'll take that feedback, and we will vote in February to approve next year's calendar. So, Mr. Bernath?
Thank you, Mr. Brown. I'll start off by just going through the process that we went through for this calendar. Every year we have a calendar committee. It's required by our contract. That committee is made up of teachers and administrators from every building in the district. So this was a process that was shared very clearly and transparently with the teachers throughout discussions. A lot of input was taken from many different stakeholders during that time. The other group that played a key role in what you see here today is the World Class Education Committee. They were given this prior to the holiday break and offered their input and feedback on it and so forth. So this is kind of the culmination of the work of those particular groups for the calendar for next year. It's also important to understand that there are a couple of statutory items that we have to follow making a calendar. One is we have to be somewhat similar to CTEC's calendar. That's written in state law, so we can't deviate completely from them, and they have a copy of this calendar, so they're very aware of our plans. And then we have the actual contractual obligations of 184 calendar days for our teachers. So all those things wrapped into what you see in front of you. The reason we have to have a meeting this year is we're looking at a change in the number of hours of instruction our students have to have. State law requires grades 7 through 12 to have 1,001 contact hours. That's minus lunch periods. Of education, and for grades K through 6, that number is around 900 hours per school year, so much different for each grade level. This particular year, we are looking, this calendar, the main feature of it is the no early dismissal calendar. We will remove early dismissals from the district calendar for the year and replace those with in-service days to start the school year. So we've added 2 extra days to give 4 in-service days for teachers prior to the start of the school year, and then 2 extra days at the end of the first and second quarter during the school year. The reason for this is very simple. In our experience, early dismissal is a very tough time to have good, solid, productive professional development. The teachers have taught all day. It's the end of the school day, and then you have a month in between sessions, and it's hard to get a lot of momentum rolling that you can utilize in the classroom. We're banking on the fact that having more time up front will mean more tangible items for the students to use in the classroom and experience and increase the effectiveness of our instruction at the classroom level with the teachers and the support of the administration going through that professional development those first 4 days of school. The trade-off is with no early dismissal, we lose about 9 hours of instruction, or we gain back 9 hours of instruction. If we add the 2 extra days of PD up front, we lose about 9 hours of instructional time during the school year. So this calendar represents 9 less instructional hours next year than this current year. All that said, we are still at, for the high school, over 80 hours above the state minimum, and for the elementaries, almost 200 hours over the state minimum. So we are well above any requirements. I think at one point we calculated we could have like 16 snow days, and under the hour requirement now, because we're not under days, we would not have to make up any school days. So Those are the main changes. Along with moving these days around, that created other days that we had to give students the day off and teachers the day off contractually. So you'll see there are a couple of 4-day weekends scattered throughout the school year. When we have the professional development for teachers, students get a 4-day weekend. That was very intentional. We thought a little more frequent breaks, almost kind of taking a step towards a year-round type calendar and giving students little breaks here and there would be very good for them to recharge their batteries during the school year. Just give them a little break at certain key times where it seems like the school year, there's a big stretch where there's no breaks for them. October and in the middle of February were the key dates. One other thing that we did on here was we moved the parent-teacher conferences up to the first week of October. We thought having them in November, we're almost halfway through the school year at that point. Having them in October for secondary students still gives you 3 to 4 weeks until the end of the first quarter, so there's an opportunity for improvement there. And we know our students by October 1st. That's not an issue. Why not get that process started earlier? It also lines up wonderfully with the intervention that we're doing for the K-3 literacy piece because all that has to be done from state requirements by September 30th. So that was kind of an optimal time to do those different things. Graduation is Memorial Day weekend. That's been okayed by Denison. They've penciled us in on that particular day. The feedback we got from the community members that we've talked to about this was that was very positive with the Monday for most people off on Memorial Day. It actually made things a little bit better, just in terms of arranging the celebrations that you have during that time of year. And then finally, there's a day after, March 28th, which is the day after Easter. And honestly, that date was chosen because that is one of the most poorly attended days in the school district that we have. So we really looked at attendance and said, okay, what day, since we have to give another day off to students, what day could we possibly give off? Well, let's take a day off where there's not many students in school as there normally are. And that was the one that kind of rose to the surface for that part of the discussion. Some other little small pieces, we won't actually take CODA Day off next year. CODA Day will be the week before the end of our quarter. We want to take the day off at the end of the quarter to really look at the entire quarter's bodies of work. So we will have school on CODA Day. It's not a requirement that we take it off. We're going to take the next Friday off. And a lot of schools, not a lot, some schools do not take CODA Day in Central Ohio off as it is, but we'll be in the minority in terms of that for sure. Other than that, the calendar is pretty much straightforward in terms of any major changes from previous years. The biggest difference, obviously, is the no early dismissal. We'll also have professional development time. That's part of the contractual day for teachers that will be equivalent to 2 hours a month after school. And that will be used in each building very differently. So I can't really give any specifics and say that's going to be used this way all across the board. By grade level or by subject level in each building is what I can tell you right now. And I'll take any questions that you have.
I don't have a question, but a comment. There's a lot of common sense in this. I like it. I have a number of friends and know a number of educators in year-round districts and districts where they take a fall break, and they're very enthusiastic about that. It's an opportunity to sort of recharge. I like it. I really applaud the work that went into this. I think there's, like I said, a lot of common sense. It's very pragmatic.
A big block of time before school starts is great, for working with the staff. There's so many new technologies and new programs and things like that. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to support, effectively using that time, right? Because we're asking a lot of our staff, and I think building more time around how that training goes is a great plan. And all the little other things that go along with it, like the earlier conferences and a couple longer breaks, all are good. I think there's a lot of opportunity to look creatively at the schedule like this and find ways to improve the efficiency and quality education. So it's great.
Being someone who works on this schedule already, it works really well from a teacher's perspective also. So I think you'll find that is something to get positive feedback from. You'll always have people.
It's a change.
It is a change. And I would add one piece to this, and it certainly wasn't something that was at the forefront of any of our discussions initially, because we were really, what's best for kids and what's best for teaching those kids. That was really our mindset going into this, but we're actually going to get 3 to 4 days of additional instruction, even though we have less time prior to testing with this schedule than we do the current year. Just kind of an anomaly that worked out by ending on Memorial Day. So not that testing's everything we do, but it is part of our world and something that we do have to prepare kids for. So that was another ancillary benefit for that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Board discussion. This is just, I'll start it. Just a reminder that the Economic Summit that the board is hosting is this Thursday, January 15th, at the high school auditorium at 7 o'clock. And we've invited specific stakeholders, but we've also broadened that to any community member that wishes to participate in this conversation. Anyone from the board want to talk a little bit about the agenda? You can share a little bit about what we're planning on doing. Or do you want me to talk about it?
You know, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right, so Mr. Janice will start us off with a welcome, then I'm going to talk a little bit about the agenda and our goals for the summit. Mr. Sobel is going to do a presentation on taxation and its impact on school funding, and then we're going to do a question and answer session and really digest what Mr. Sobel shares, and then have just an open dialogue about what that means for Granville, and then try and identify some next steps. And then Dr. Corman will close the meeting with some final comments, and with the understanding that this is not just a one and done meeting, that this is an ongoing conversation. So.
You know, I guess the question I would pose is, are we doing everything we can to get the word out? I know it's been in the Sentinel. I have to admit I don't know because I haven't looked in the last few days. Are we including it in the emails that go out to parents?
Yeah, so it's been in the Blue Ace News last week. I referenced it in my superintendent's message. I've been sharing it with anybody who will listen. A lot of Rotarians and other people. And then Chuck called me tonight. He had a tooth extracted today, so that's why he's not here. And he called and said that he was going to be running a small snippet again prior to Thursday so that we can, again, get the word out. But a lot of people have been coming up to me and talking to me about it. So I have a feeling we're going to have some people that attend.
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm excited. It's an opportunity to start a discussion.
Yeah.
We have time, and I hope that, you know, folks will bring their perspective and their questions, and, you know, we can contemplate all of that and really come up with some plans to follow through from there, because we do have time to think about the economic impact of the taxation system on the schools, and you know, to really sort of be proactive about ways to strengthen that, and all with the goal to improve our economic sustainability. Thank you for all the work that's gone into it, and thus far you've done a tremendous amount of work.
I'm excited because I think it's also an opportunity for us to model what adults can do to, you know, discuss, you know, potentially a polarizing topic, and do it in a way that's, you know, shows students that it's not all one-sided conversation, but really that you can go in and it's not personal. It's about, you know, the issues, and have a thoughtful conversation without it being, you know, a negative perspective. So I think that's a good opportunity to model. Any other comments?
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this point in the agenda, it's time for public comment. If there's anybody that would like to address the board, please come to the podium and you can speak for up to 3 to 5 minutes. Brian? Simon? Nobody? Matt? No?
Michael? All right.
Moving on. Board reports. Thomas?
You know, the GEF meets this Thursday, and I haven't gotten an update from them about the fall campaign. I assume it was successful. I'm not sure if you have numbers on the funds that
don't.
were raised or anything along those lines, but.
And Amy did contact me and say that she may think about changing the date because it's the same night as the Economic Summit, and she wanted the GEF members to attend that event. So
Great.
I don't know if she's made a decision one way or another.
Okay. But we'll certainly hear more about it by next month.
Yeah.
You know, go from there.
Okay, excellent.
Katie?
I
do something?
have something to share tonight about the North Granville Community Authority. We had our organizational meeting just before this meeting tonight. We elected a new president, vice president. Jesse Picterna and Dean Busick are going to represent the authority for the next year. We set our election date for May 18th before our May 18th board meeting. That's 4 to 6 here in the district building in this room. And then we'll hold our first meeting of that newly elected board on the 27th of May at 5:30, again here. I just, as an additional comment, we had an interesting discussion tonight about how the monies are spent. It's a committee that's quite interested in that process, and had some interesting discussion about the history of how the authority was established, and questions about why or how might we bring new development on board in like agreements. So that was, I think, a healthy discussion we had. And I think also it was important for the group to hear some things, particularly from Mr. Sobel, about funding in terms of the district that they were not aware of, even though, or assumptions they've made about how funding works and how the authority plays into the wider funding streams in the district. So it was a very productive meeting today, I think.
Excellent.
Thank you. Action agenda?
Okay, 11.01, we have maternity leaves.
So moved.
Second. Discussion? Take the roll, please.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel. Dr. Corman.
Aye.
Thank you. 11.02, we have a leave of absence for Mr. Sobel.
Second?
Take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel. Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have some additional unpaid leaves of absence. I'm going to make one change to the motion. Sandy Cunningham, it's actually February 10th, not the 11th. So if the motion could be as amended, that would be great.
So moved, as amended?
Second.
Discussion? Take the roll, please.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
Okay. We have 11.04 is the temporary contract for the Granville High School Principal Secretary. Mrs. Frank came in over the winter break, and so we're just approving that contract prior to her full-time contract that is listed below.
Second.
Take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
The next item is the contract for the new Granville High School Principal Secretary. Catherine Frank is joining our organization to fill that new role, or actually to fill that role that was vacated by Shelley Fisher.
So moved?
Second. No, go ahead. Second. Thank you.
You've always been more cultured.
Any questions? Nope. Take the roll, please.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel. Dr. Corman.
Aye.
Okay, the next item is the contract for the treasurer pro tem. This is the contract with Peg Betts to serve as the treasurer. What? I'm sorry. During Mike's previously approved absence.
She seemed awfully excited to get rid of it.
Watch out.
Second?
Just trying to take care of it.
Yes.
Yep. Take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Dr. Cornman.
Aye.
Okay, the next item is 11.07, the agreement with the Learning Spectrum, which is a special education service provider for a retooling of the agreement that we had with them. So
So moved.
it's for a specific student.
And I believe this is someone who had been qualified for a Peterson Scholarship and was no longer qualified for the Peterson Scholarship, so they're moving over. So there's probably not much additional cost. It's probably just shifting from one cost center to another.
Do we have other students with this organization?
We have a couple.
Yes.
A couple, okay. So this is somebody we contracted?
Yep. Yeah.
Take the roll, please.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Ranto. Dr. Cornman.
Aye.
Thank you. Next is the approval of the consent agenda, A through D5. And once motion and accepted, I will talk a little bit.
So moved.
Okay, I'd like to highlight a few things. Obviously, I talked a little bit about the art panels, the $4,000 donation for the art department, and we're very appreciative of that grant writing process. We have $200 to the choir from State Farm, $100 from Park National Bank for the Playaway, which is they're really just devices to listen to audio tapes and books. Tapes. There are no tapes anymore. Audiobooks for classroom activities. And we have binders and an art display from a resident to the art department.
Great.
I would also call your attention to in the supplementals, we have 2 people that are filling the role for the swim team that was vacated earlier in the year, and we're very glad to have Keith and Teresa fill that role. We also have volunteers, Glenn Haley and Wendy Biddle, who are going to be working with the robotics group and making sure that they are board approved as volunteers, going through the background check so that they can work directly with students. And then I would like to, with appreciation of service, recommend the retirement of Jill Riggs, school psychologist. Jill has been in our school district for 19 years. She has served in a variety of roles, school psychologist, but she also filled a role as a director of student services at one point. She has been a fantastic asset to our student services department. I think one of the most difficult things to do as a school psychologist is have a conversation with a parent that is talking about maybe a deficit that their child has. And Jill does that with professionalism, compassion, and sensitivity. And she is going to be sorely missed, and we wish her the best of luck in her retirement. And she really is a class act. So we're going to miss her.
Questions or comments?
Bital? Bital, yeah.
And for the volunteers that are serving as robotics volunteers, how does that delineate them from other mentors that might be working with kids in that process?
We are putting them on the approval list with the background and everything, so they can actually be alone with kids.
Okay.
So they don't need a staff person there. Other volunteers, parent mentors need a staff member present.
Great. Yeah, that's great. They want to step up for that.
Yeah.
It's a busy time of year for the robotics group. I'm
Sure.
sure there's going to be an open house soon. For
It
people
is.
to visit
It
if they
is
want to see.
build session or
Yep.
season.
Mm-hmm.
When is the competition?
Excellent question.
I think they're going to the Queen City Regional Competition. Their build season is like 6 weeks. So
6
they're done
weeks.
early February.
Yeah.
But then they have to box up their robot for probably a month or so until they actually go and compete sometime in March, I'm guessing. Seems like it was around spring break last year.
And during Rotary today, one of our members said that with the additional funds that were raised last year, that they were going to give another donation to the robotics team to fund some of the work that, or the competition materials that are necessary. So I think that, I don't know what the exact amount was, but they referenced it today.
Yeah, they got a significant donation from First Robotics to enter this competition this year.
Excellent.
And I think the Robotics Boosters Group is doing a great job of not just their own high school team, but also thinking about the various other robotics programs in Granville. I'm not sure if they'll come with a proposal, but they're certainly working on things very collaboratively with all ages. Right?
Good.
So they've been active with kids through the elementary school up to the high school.
Thank you.
We'll see where that goes.
Take a roll, please.
Mr. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Deeds? Dr. Renzel?
Aye.
Mr. Janice?
Aye.
Dr. Corman?
That concludes the consent agenda. That takes us to finances. Mr. Sobel.
The only thing we have this month is the approval of the financial report. Sorry, it's a little bit late getting it out, but I was hoping to work on it on the planes back from Hawaii, and that didn't really happen. I was mostly asleep on the planes back from Hawaii. So again, motion will get, not much happened during the month. We'll go through it.
You want to take the motion first?
Really, the revenues were pretty much right on target for the month. The only real thing that looks out of line is the expenditures on benefits, and that was really more a function of the calendar than anything else because of the holiday, the early board meeting, having to try and get the month closed later than normal because of the holiday, and the insurances came due for January. To not be late on the insurances, we paid the insurance, our medical and dental and vision insurances before we closed the month of December. So December actually is reflecting 2 months of insurance payments in it, so that will balance itself out when we get to the end of January. That's really the only item that's there. There's $50,000 that we're still trying to fix from when we thought we had to make that transfer for transportation, and it didn't have to happen, and we're still trying to fix that to get it so it's not showing up on the books, and we haven't quite gotten there yet. We'll get that fixed during January. The one good thing, I was anticipating the purchase services being well below estimate. We've been running way ahead of estimate. That was about $100,000 below estimate, so that's moved much more now in line with the estimates, as have the materials and supply spending moved in line, more in line with the estimates. They were significantly below as well. The cash balance situation has not really changed. Still anticipating being a little bit below the guideline next month, at the close of this month. And again, that's the only month that we're expecting that to happen during the 2-year period. We now have our current cash balance, all funds, is about $5.9 million. That will bottom out at the next month, or this month, before we start getting our property tax collections. I don't know if we'll get one late January this year, or not till early February. I'm not sure. I am not, the last 2 years I've asked the auditor's office to advance us money in January because we needed it. I am not going to ask them for a special distribution this time because we're not in a situation where that has to happen. They may do it routinely anyway, but I am not going to specifically ask them to do that. So that's really the gist of the report. ODE has not made any adjustments yet as far as using current year in the state funding formula. They said that will happen either the first or second payment in December, which I believe means we're still in December. That has not happened yet. It did not happen. We received a payment last Friday. It did not happen in the payment last Friday. At some point it will happen. It's not going to have much impact on us since we're capped. It's not going to have a lot of impact. Where it may have some impact is on our deductions for community school and open enrollment. They're still deducting based on last year. They have not done the recalculations of 14 and 15 from the 13 recalculation they did a couple of months ago. That still hasn't occurred. That will actually bump us up a little bit when that does occur. That's really about it. Was waiting for them to do something. Questions?
Mike, do you think on the on the expenditure side, you said by the end of January, you think that'll come back into balance? Will it correct itself in 1 month? Is it?
Yes, the benefits will correct itself in 1 month because we're not going. We won't pay the February bill until early February. We'll be able to get closed because we don't have the holiday falling in there where we're late getting closed. So we'll be able to get closed and pay February's bill in February. So essentially, we will not be making a medical insurance, dental or vision during the month of January. So we'll be significantly below where we're anticipating this one.
I noticed for the first time, the purchase services have been below what we estimated.
Yes. Yeah, then some of that was, some of that gets front loaded. Some of it we had the correction in our gas bill. We've been overpaying for our natural gas, and that got corrected. So our normal payment was $17,000, almost $18,000 a month. This month it was, I think it was under $2,000 that we paid because we had been carrying. There's a balance we had been carrying, and so we got that straightened out this month. That was the big piece of it. There were just a couple other things that happened a little bit earlier in the year than we were anticipating. It's hard to do the monthly estimates for some of these things because they can fluctuate so much as far as the timing of things. And then when I was with the state, we would have to do monthly estimates, but we caution people, don't read too much into a single month's variance. Because it doesn't take much to bounce things around. It's really, to look at a quarter and where things are in a quarter is probably a lot more valid way to look at a lot of these line items than monthly.
Because at one point you had showed us the percent of what we spent up to, compared to the percent of the year that we've gone through. So that's another marker I thought was pretty good.
It's another marker, and again, we're right on schedule with everything. The only thing that's not going to look right is the benefits because of what we did. But everything else, it's online still and it looks fine.
Okay, take the roll, please.
Thank you.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Ms. Deeds. Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye. Motion to adjourn.
Oh,
I need a second.
Wait, we need that executive session. We have at least a half an hour.
I'll second.
Did you just second that?
I just second.
Second your motion.
Yes.
Take the roll, please.
Ms. Deeds.
Aye.
Mr. Janice.
Aye.
Dr. Rentel.
Aye.
Mr. Miller.
Aye.
Dr. Corman.
Aye.
7.